Hello, archaeologists and paleontologists. Welcome to an episode of Jurassic Jones, going over the adventures of Indiana Jones and the animals of Jurassic Park. Now, in today's video, I will go over a controversial idea that came about over the fifth Indy movie, Dial of Destiny, in the final / most recent indie movie / the final, maybe, if the whole theory about there being no indie movie happening, and right now it's almost been a year since that, that's probably not gonna happen. Unless if Disney really needs money. But in Indiana Jones and Destiny, it revolves around time travel. Now, I do think that's a stupid plot, but unlike with most people, I don't think the villain isn't stupid to try and make it work. Although, I don't think voller is actually some kind of idiot for trying to kill Hitler and trying to make sure that he can become the fuel and take over for Germany and win World War II. I think, do people not understand history? We've been documenting history since the beginning of history. Let me explain. There's something called a history book, and Voller, all he needs is probably take like five history books at a mask with like one roll of film, and then show how Germany lost the war. And if you say, well, during the 60s, there weren't a lot of weren't that many history books. Well, to his mind, he has a time machine. All he needs to do is go back to the year of 2005, take like 20 World War II books and give them to Hitler. He doesn't even need to kill Hitler. I don't think he generally needs to kill Hitler. All he needs to do is just show him the evidence, and then maybe Hitler can win the war. Just really hints that, he just has spite for him for some reason. But if we're going with the idea that he is gonna have to kill Hitler, then his plan could somewhat work. Voller is a general smart man, and I feel like he was generally bringing along some historical evidence so that he can prove that he's from the future. He was bringing Indy along with him. I generally think he was generally bringing Indy along with him just to show that he's from the future. Indy's old. Why would Dr. Jones, whilst being in the U.S., looks young, whilst he looks old, looks like an old man. So, and he doesn't even, and the thing about Hitler is crazy. Even his generals admitted that. And Hitler and his generals generally didn't really trust each other when the war started and definitely when it ended. Well, no. Any World War II general that won't involved with any war crimes, any German general that wasn't involved with war crimes was able to get off free, and they actually talked to historians, and because for 6 years they were generally being told what they should do with the war. They generally went. It was Germany's fault. It was Hitler's fault, and also compared to Voller's plan, he's probably I think out of any of the Indy villains' plan is just a theory, and is because we're gonna ignore the fact that Indy's villains always have to do something with a cult object that could take over the world. Like Mole Lamb. I generally don't think if Mole Lamb went past Temple of Doom, he wouldn't have got shot. His plan was too stupid. I can like make fun of like the all indie surveillance plans if like I ever make a part 2 of this video, but Voller is can all you need to do is just bring back some historical evidence, tell Hitler's generals, and heck, he doesn't even need to kill Hitler. He can just banish him, he can exile him, he can keep him as prisoner. So Voller's plan couldn't have actually worked. My main problem is, go back even, if you're gonna do that, go back like oil. Like, go back to, like, I don't know, go back to when the Nazi Party was formed. I don't get why he thinks he needs to do it during 39. I don't get why he has to go back to 39 to kill Hitler. He just needs to go back when the Nazi Party was formed and just need to wait it out some bit, then become like the main leader, kill it, and probably he just doesn't allow Hitler into the party or bans him, and then he becomes the main leader. Especially written out very much hints that Voller is a manipulator. Like he manipulated, like he was able to manipulate multiple U.S. agents somewhat into joining him. So, yeah, he's definitely a manipulator. Voller is a smart enough guy that I generally think his plan couldn't have worked. So, Voller's plan could have definitely worked. And he definitely couldn't have taken over the party and become the Führer by taking out the generals. Now you may say, why the generals? Let me explain. Now see, Hitler's generals when the war started didn't really like him. They were all kind of uneasy, even with each other. They were already criticizing him when the war started. He just really needs, he shouldn't even go back to 39. He just needs to, he need to wait a year until like 40. And like he doesn't even, and the reason why I didn't think he goes back to 39 is because now what's going to happen after 39? Dunkirk in 40. And most historians, generals, and basically anyone with common, who has basically played any kind of historical strategy game, has realized Hitler's move at telling the German army to slow down during the invasion of France led to the evacuation of Dunkirk and made sure that the British army could fight another day. So basically making sure that Hitler couldn't really actually win World War II in that effect. And because of that, many people pointed that. Because of that, a lot of generals after that very much didn't really trust Hitler. Not even including how they, during the Battle of Bulge, 4 years after Dunkirk, very much hated Hitler and generally thought he's the main reason why he lost the war. So, like, he can wait for, like, about a year, then when 30, and then when 40 happens, he can just show him the evidence, tell him that the idea of Hitler, tell him about, like, a week before Hitler was about to issue the order, show him that he's gonna do it, and then show him how it fails. Voller's plan could generally work. And then what with Hitler? Now, he can just show Hitler being... Now, they could take him out in a coup, which also would mean take out Hitler, and basically everybody else. And you could make the argument somewhat of... he would also have to take control of Mussolini, or would have to take control of Italy, and even, but like, Mussolini criticized Hitler for essentially getting Italy into World War II a lot more faster, because like he generally thought Hitler was going to wait until 40, which is the year which was suspected to be like the year when the Italian military was going to get up and running actually good, but came a lot sooner than that, and Italy was in a war a lot sooner than that. And, but yeah. Now, you could say with the argument that Hitler was so popular with the German people, he couldn't have actually get killed. I don't generally think that. Sure, there would probably be like groups of, but all Voller needs to do is just convince the Gestapo and the Gestapo and the SS on his side, and then just hunt them down. He could just make his own. He could just combine. He could just replace it. Like, he could just show, like, SS and Gestapo leaders how the evidence, and if they wouldn't agree with him that was a bad idea, then they would be on his side. So Germany, now I don't think this would mean German victory, because I generally don't think that. There's something called a nuclear bomb, and Voller doesn't mention that he's gonna try and, like, he doesn't mention that he's gonna try and make a nuclear bomb. Or maybe he would. That's my big problem. Oh, we're gonna, because, like, he doesn't think maybe he should go back to, like, even, like, 33, show how, and he can just lie about it, say, there was a third nuclear bomb, just show like a fake nuclear image, and then just say that's gonna be Berlin. Then Hitler would probably would immediately stop making one. Like, all you need to do is that, and that would probably scare Hitler into thinking, if that's what the US is gonna have in like 12 years from now, what would we do? So, like, yeah. And because and that's considering it's kind of debated if Hitler did generally listen to his generals, would have the war gone better. Now, that's for, like, another issue. I also think putting out this is the indie universe, I think the United States probably would have just used the Ark of the Covenant, which I don't understand why they didn't do that in the indie universe. They have the most powerful weapon on their side from God himself, and they're not going to use it against the Nazis. Okay? Yeah, it's weird. But that's movies for you. So, yeah. I think his plan couldn't have... So Germany couldn't have actually won the war, and probably couldn't actually taken over most of Europe, and if not of the US, probably at least try and make it somewhat of an ally, or at least somewhat of a getting out Europeans' fails. So Voller's plan couldn't have actually worked if the dial actually sent him to 39. So Voller's plan couldn't have actually worked, and he couldn't have actually became the Führer. Don't understand why people say this is like a bad plan. I think maybe it's because I'm actually, like, it's not the worst thing in Indy 5. I can think of, I don't know, him not really aging, and Indy looks like an 80-year-old guy, while he still looks like the same even 20 years later. Doesn't make any sense. So Voller's plan could have actually worked, and doesn't make any sense why it would fail. fact, now I could see the argument that Indy would just use the dialogue to go back. But, like, this is about Roll's ideas plan. Not about Indy going on and all. Not about Indy with his plans and trying to stop Roll. So I generally think Roll couldn't have generally used it to take over the, like, stop multiple Hitler's bad decisions and take over the world. So yeah. But now again, so continue with this video sponsored Hearts of... That's just a joke, not Ryan did not sponsor this video. But yeah, Roll's plan could have actually worked. You can't convince me why it wouldn't. Like, you know, especially with now he was alive at that point, and his plan couldn't have actually worked, couldn't have actually stop the Germany's loss in the war, and then insert any kind of throw into any kind of World War Germany, World War II, blah blah blah. Last days of Europe, fatherland, man in the high castle. Just think of any kind of case scenario where Germany wins World War II, and just with voller as basically replacing Hitler. I guess like maybe he would go. I guess like maybe. So yeah. Guess maybe winning how he got the U.S. into space in the indie movies. Maybe he would have made like a space rocket that could attack nations. If you really want to go even wackier. But like, this video was supposed to be kind of why I don't get Roll's plan doesn't work in Indy 5 when it couldn't have. It wouldn't have worked because the body wouldn't have killed him. Even though if we're talking about the generals, he couldn't have gotten away with it, and sure, you could make the argument that would just start another civil war. You know, he could also gone to the Gestapo and gone to Gestapo and the SS and the military, and then making sure that German people, that the only people that are actually threatened war would be general German citizens as an uprising. But waiting now, the year before it invaded Poland, Germany banned firearms. Well, mostly for Jews, but firearms for people in general are very heavily regulated. Germany. Man, that's gonna start an argument in the comics. But that was for all. And if you like Steven Spielberg, like Indiana Jones, and like Jurassic Park, come to this channel. I talk about all three of those things sometimes. With dinosaurs, Nazis, Harrison Ford, and Sam Neill. See you next time, adventurers and archaeologists and paleontologists.